and welcome to round 2 of the Parenting Roundabout podcast for the week of February 13th. I'm Catherine Haleko, and I'm here with Terry Morrow.
Hello.
Usually on this podcast, we talk about parenting issues, but once a week, Terry and I like to get together to discuss TV, movies, books, and other entertainment topics because it's nice to talk about something other than parenting for a change. So this week, we continued with our 2 TV series watches, Brothers and Sisters, and Shrinking.
Ooh.
So we're going to, we do a new thing and an old thing.
Yes.
And we'll start with the new thing, which is Shrinking.
Although in this particular combination of episodes this week, I was so very much wishing Jimmy could go knock Sarah and Joe's heads together and find some way to make it. Because Joel Grey just sitting there passively going, well, you've brought up some very hurtful and terrible things, but I'm afraid our time's up.
Right.
Jimmy, we need you over here.
We need some action.
They're in Pasadena too, I'm pretty sure, or thereabouts.
Yeah, they're
Maybe,
all
like they could go on his trampoline. I think it would do them a lot of good, honestly.
Totally. Yes.
Use of psychiatry or therapy or whatever. Oh, I like Jimmy's way better.
Yeah, well,
he could use
Jimmy's having
also.
Mixed success with his methods in these 2 episodes, 15 minutes and potatoes.
Yes.
At the end of 15 minutes, I believe, is when he realizes that his patient, Grace, the one who he badgered into leaving her horrible husband, has been lying to him because they've been having Zoom therapy from what he thought she was in Canada.
Yeah.
She wasn't.
Oh, man. They see each other hiking and...
So, as he sums up in potatoes, he has one client who lied to him, one who won't talk to him, which is Sean, the veteran, and one who tries to make out with him.
Which was the compulsive patient.
Right.
OCD patient. And,
yes.
Oh, dear. He just was not having a good day.
And also, he needs more than 3 patients.
He really does.
Well, I guess there's that guy who's mean to baristas.
Yes. And then at the beginning of the episode, 15 minutes, one of his patients is having a dinner date. And when the girl goes to the restroom, Jimmy pops in to give him some tips.
So that's 2 more. That's 2 more. The angry guy and the horrible at dating guy who gets better after Jimmy intervenes.
Right.
So
I have lots more to say about potatoes because it was a much more starchy and some substantive dish there, as potatoes are. But I have to say, about 15 minutes, I still am a little taken aback by the language on this show.
Right.
And it has had a bad effect on me because the other day I told my husband to shut the F up, and that did not go over well. So it gets in your brain, and it just tumbles right out. But it was satisfying. And you know what? He knew I was angry, which is not always the case. So anyway, but the Ted McGinley line at the beginning of this episode where they're, I guess, the sort of racist neighbor lady sees Sean trying to get something out of Jimmy's garbage. And Liz comes over and says, no, it's okay. They know him. And the lady is being very persnickety. And Ted McKinley's, what is his name? The character?
Derek.
Derek drives by and says something nice to the neighbor lady. And Liz says, no, we don't like her. And then he says something which I cannot repeat on this podcast and which I don't honestly believe he would have said, but still it was so funny. I burst out laughing. Ted McGinley in this just has the gift of these throwaway lines. It's like he just comes in, he kills, and he goes out.
Yep.
And he comes back again. And his character just seems to have this, I really don't care about any of this. You want to do this? You want to do that? That's fine. I got other things to do. But he's just a masterful delivery of those lines. And what an MVP on this show. Used just the right amount.
Just exactly the right amount.
I mean, there may be in the future, we may get him in more things, but if they just used him like this to just come in and slay and walk out, I'm good with that.
Slay, as the kids say. Yes.
Oh, so shout out to that MVP of these 2 episodes. Just so wonderful and nice to see him. And,
Yes.
Also enjoying more of Liz in these 2 episodes. I'm slowly transferring over from Krista Miller as Ellie on Cougar Town to her as Liz on this show. There's some overlap, including, being the neighbor who's up in everybody's business, but they're definitely different characters, and I'm really enjoying this performance and getting to see. I mean, I think she's terrific too, in a much different way. She has a lot more work to do than her husband's character, who just kind of, as I said, is just that little
extra spice. Yeah.
Yes. So, and I do very much, as has happened in the second episode, I like her so very much more as a friend of Gabby than a frenemy. So
yeah,
this is fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of Liz, stuff, especially in Potatoes.
Yes,
her working out what's going on with her and Jimmy, what's going on with her and Gabby.
Yeah, and once
even her kid when he shows up.
And really has not much use for her. Oh man! And when she kept going, I'm not just a mom,
right?
And I'm thinking, I'm not just a mom. I have a podcast,
right? I'm not just a mom. I tumble rocks.
Oh man! Oh, we are not summarizing these well, but Just to finish up with 15 minutes, we see that Jimmy got his car back.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So the Pasadena police did their job, apparently. Right. Just dropped it off at his house.
Mm-hmm.
Also, hey, is it Wendy Malick or Malick, that actress?
I think it's Malick.
Malick as Harrison Ford's doctor.
Right.
He's like, hey, it's that actress. I must get me to IMDb and figure out who that was. I don't think I've seen her blonde before, but maybe. Anyway.
Yeah, I definitely would think of her as a dark-haired person.
And then Gabby got a divorce. Okay. Did we know she had a husband? Did we care?
Yeah, we didn't know too much about that.
I think he was just introduced for her to be able to divorce him.
Right.
So, but anyway.
And for Jimmy to see her in a somewhat compromising position, but then it was just because she's not telling him stuff because he's got his own stuff.
Right. And also in that episode, Liz supposedly accidentally ratted out to Paul that Sean was living at Jimmy's place, which is not, not a therapeutically recommended course of treatment. No. And Liz is also concerned about Sean and Alice seeming to hit it off way too well.
Right.
Which led to some of the tension in Potatoes. And the potatoes were not wasted. We were concerned about that. I don't like anything bad to happen to food, but I would not recommend taking a bite out of it. No. It was adorable that the sparring between him and Paul rose to the point where Jimmy felt like he really just had to bite into this potato and eat it, even though that's not really a thing you can do with potatoes.
Right.
Because of his taking Sean in and just doing everything not by the book. Paul and Jimmy are now on the outs.
Right.
And the episode on potatoes also, we met Paul's daughter.
Right. Meg.
Connecticut
What's
Meg,
her name?
as Jimmy called her. And
there wasn't really a fallout from Jimmy knowing that Paul is talking to Alice.
There really wasn't. Did they discuss? I watched 15 minutes the day it came out, and so that's a ways away. And I just watched Potatoes this morning, so that's why it's much more on my mind. But I couldn't remember whether they had. Jimmy did tell Paul that he knew.
Yeah, but then they didn't really. It didn't really come up again. Yeah. Especially even, Jimmy didn't try to use it. In his dispute with Paul, or he didn't have
maybe broken some boundaries also.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know if we should just give Jimmy credit for not being like, well, but you.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. Maybe it'll come up again.
Yeah.
At a later time. But the whole thing with him and his daughter was just very sad.
Very sad.
And, he needs to tell her he has Parkinson's, and he needs to have her sign some forms, medical forms, which Brian is his lawyer because law of economy of characters, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't connect in such a way that he can do that. He asks if he can come stay with her, and she's like, well, stuff's going on.
Right.
So, and from her point of view, you can see they don't really maybe have that kind of relationship where.
Yeah. I mean, I thought and this obviously could still happen, but that, it was going to be that Paul had to make Jimmy or Gabby his power of attorney.
Yeah.
Because they're there and his daughter isn't, and they know, but he doesn't want to.
Not sure I would want to entrust my life to either of those two right at this moment.
Right. And also that's
or
part of the whole, like him keeping his personal life out of his relationship with them. But the thing is, he needs somebody, and it's probably not going to be his daughter.
Yeah, unless something changes, and that'll be interesting. I hope we see that actress again. Lily Rabe, is it her name?
I believe, yes.
Yeah. Got good people working for them here, man. Everybody.
Absolutely.
High quality of acting going on here to go with the writing, which is pretty good too.
I mean, I guess when you're Bill Lawrence, you
I guess
have some connections.
I would hope so. Yeah.
I mean, his connection with Krista Miller obviously is that he is married to her.
Yeah.
But he's, been in the biz.
Right.
So
right. It's fun. But I can relate as somebody whose husband will be retiring sooner than later to Liz saying, I can only love him for an hour and 45 minutes a day.
I can relate as someone whose husband has been working from home-ish for years now.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Would love it if he was working from home an hour and 45 minutes a day. Not 24/7.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe I should go find some rocks to tumble.
It's like meditation, apparently.
Right. Yeah.
Or also just drink a lot of wine. We got the Walkers versus the Pasadena buddies here. I don't know. Tommy needs to get that new winery going quick, because I think he's got some customers in the neighborhood.
Yeah. Yep.
Man.
Absolutely.
It's not to the level of Cougar Town yet, where Courtney Cox drank wine out of like a vase.
Right.
But getting there.
Mm-hmm.
They like their wine.
Yes.
So I am really, really enjoying this show. And it's something that I just sit and watch without doing other things, which is nice.
Yeah.
It's a nice length,
Mm-hmm.
And you could fast forward through the commercials. I didn't realize that at first. You can fast forward through that ad at the beginning.
Oh.
Which, hey, Eugene Levy, I'm glad you have another series. That sounds like fun. But
oh, yeah. It's just a promo for another.
Yes. Yeah. It's always a promo for another thing. But the second one, Hello Tomorrow or something like that, I did not need to see that even once. So
yeah, I
fast
skipped
forward.
it. So
yay. It's awesome.
You can
Thank
skip
you,
that,
Apple.
and you can skip the little intro, sort of theme song type of situation.
I like the theme song, though. And that little maze.
Mm-hmm.
Garden maze that they have there.
Right. Very therapeutic.
Yes, it is. So there were lots of discussions about the possibility of Sean and Alice doing something that would displease Jimmy, and that the person he has to worry about is not Sean, it's his daughter, who, according to his two friends, is, well, how can I describe what they say?
Yeah, I don't know.
Teenage girls be Fill in the blank.
Yeah. And what was funny about that is then Derek, Ted McGinley's character, these two women are just being like super profane, and he comes out and says something much milder, and his wife is like, language. So that was amusing.
That was amusing. So funny. Yes. So well used, that character. As I have said. So interesting to see what happens. And of course, at the end, Jimmy has fallen asleep on Sean's couch, and Sean has fallen asleep on his couch, and Alice comes in and says something about how beautiful Sean is, and her dad, unfortunately for her, hears it. And so now he has one more huge thing to worry about. Excellent. Back on the trampoline, man, I think.
Right.
That sounds therapeutic, actually. It was making me kind of wish I had a trampoline in my backyard. I think they may be illegal here. I'm not sure. But we have to put this fence.
Yeah. I mean, the way he was doing it with no fencing. Like
unwise. But, man, when you're in a certain mood, that would be excellent.
It would.
I could. Maybe I just need to get one of those little indoor trampolines. Yeah. We had one for a while because I thought it would be good for my son. And I don't think he ever used it, which is the way of things. Right. That we buy for those reasons. But, I definitely feel like jumping up and down really hard on stuff.
It's either that or tumbling rocks. So
that's right. Yeah, I don't think I have quite enough energy for that. You have to go out and pick up the rocks.
First you have to hike.
Yes. Yeah, I'm out.
Yeah. Bad things happen when people hike on this show.
Absolutely. So. Oh, man, that was heartbreaking when she's there. I think she was there the first time he saw the husband, too. I was just watching it again. And there's two people with him, and they have their backs to Jimmy, and one of them has short blonde hair. And I'm like, oh, no.
Right.
Oh, well. Anyway, these were two very fun episodes.
Yeah.
And I hope Jimmy makes something delicious with those potatoes. He doesn't just let them sit on his desk.
Yeah, I don't know. But the way, since one is already bitten, I don't know if that's going to go well for the potatoes.
Mashed potatoes, like trampolining, can really ease a lot of pain. Yes. Nice big bowl of mashed potatoes, some butter in it, maybe some sour cream, and you just sit on a couch with a bowl of it. Not that I have ever done such a thing, no.
Right.
No.
But you just predict.
Good for what ails you, man.
Yeah.
And then you mix up some mortar and you brick your daughter into her room for another 5 or 10 years. It'll be fine. She's got a computer. It's okay. All right.
Well, shall we then move on?
Let's move on.
Back in time in Pasadena to Brothers and Sisters.
Oh, my. So many unhappy people. And on top of it, it's not enough that Joe and Sarah are just having the most heartbreaking couples therapy possible. It's not enough that we're getting that Tommy is feeling like he has to, that he's remembering all these times where he was supplanted by Sarah. He's having all these bad memories. They have to give us Nora's fiction also. Have mercy. That's too far.
Right. From her writing class that she took in college. So we're talking 40 years ago.
In my files too, but I would not subject my children to them. No. Too much.
mean, would anyone, honestly, when you have that kind of stuff, are you really seeking input?
No, you are not.
Right? You are, basically burning that stuff.
I can think of a couple of things in my files that's like, I should get rid of those before I pass so that nobody ever has to see them. Yeah. Oh, I used to show all my stories to my mother, and she would have to say something nice, and I'd go, ow, oh, no, that should never see the light of day.
Right. Oof.
Yes, that was painful. I could identify a little bit too much, but nobody wants to hear that, honey. And this episode was called Love is
It was
painful.
called Love is
Difficult.
Love is Difficult.
Yep, it's difficult if your guy is running for president and people are doing polls on you.
Right.
It's difficult if your husband is being a little too flirty with your daughter's friend's mom. It's difficult when you're thinking about your father and wondering if he really thought anything of you at all.
Right.
It's just difficult.
It's all difficult.
But it's going to get more difficult because we got another sister. Hey!
Yay!
Rebecca! Woo! They finally cast you, babe. Here you are. Emily Van Camp. Looking like trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Looking like so much trouble. I forgot how much trouble she looked like when she came on the scene.
And the first thing she says is that Tommy's cute. And Holly's like, oh, I can't tell you why that's a real, like, icky thing you just said.
Holly, you deserve this. What you're going to have to do here, but oh, man. Yeah. There she is. Oh, ready. The Walkers are going to love her. Oh, yes. And also the love is also difficult because Chad goes back to Kevin, but then Michelle calls and says, he does this all the time, and watch out. So that's going to end about as well as Jason Lewis's time on Dancing with the Stars. But he does get more episodes of this one, so.
Yeah.
Good for you, man.
Yeah, I believe he only got one on Dancing with the Stars, didn't he?
The voters were a lot more clued into him than Kevin is, sadly.
Oh, Kevin.
Yeah. You know better, but you're still going to do it.
You know better, but you're still swayed by a pretty face.
It is a very pretty face. He's a good-looking dude.
Yep.
Not good-looking enough to get people to vote for him on Dancing with the Stars, though, which kind of surprised me, but,
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was on the same season as Trevor, right? Like
that's right.
They were kind of the same.
Yes.
The same person.
Yeah.
There was really only room for one of them.
He lost the battle of the handsome dudes who look like they're wondering, how did I get myself into this?
Right.
So maybe he won by getting out early.
Yeah.
There were some weeks there where Trevor looked like, if I tripped and injured myself,
help me, please.
Go home. He got into it eventually, but for a while he was like, wait, no, the first one out was supposed to be me. Wait, look at my contract.
Something went wrong here.
Yeah. So, you walkers. And I guess Justin's sex with his ex worked out pretty good because
I know. Justin's the only one who's like...
I totally forgot that they got back together. I thought the last we saw of her was in the va-va-voom dress at the bar when she told him she was seeing somebody else, but no.
No.
She's back.
Yeah, Justin seems to be the only one who's like...
She's back, but good. Off camera. We're sorry. We're sorry for that actress. Yeah, he's seeming relatively together right now. Yeah,
I mean, I guess we know that he still has to... He only has a short reprieve before he has to go back back to war.
Fortunately, Nora has stocked the fridge with non-alcoholic beers. Is this what he was drinking at that point?
Yeah. I guess so.
Is the wine still in the closets? The wine's still in the closets, isn't it?
I'm guessing yes.
They
can't live without it.
There's little airplane bottles of vodka hidden all over the place. Yep. But we're sure he won't find them. It'll be fine. But things do not look good for Joe and Sarah.
No.
Not at all.
Joe's like, I'm not going back to that dude, the therapist.
I don't blame him. He was awful.
Yeah, he was not helping.
No.
Sarah went back to him by herself.
Yes.
Which seemed marginally valuable, but...
Yeah, but even so...
Yeah.
Well, the worst advice... Who did she get the advice to tell...
Oh, from Nora.
From Nora. So, in addition to fiction writing, maybe take the psychotherapy off your resume.
Right.
Babe.
Yes, Nora is the one who encouraged Sarah to tell Joe everything about her almost having an affair with her coworker.
Which he said he knew about anyway. So.
Yeah. And she did it in the therapy session.
Yes.
Which I suppose was
Well, so
could have been a good place to do it if the therapist would have handled it better.
I mean, that's like the cliche of therapy is it's just basically sitting there and letting people talk and leading them, maybe. That's what Jimmy has rebelled against. And it's not working out well that way either, but still.
Yeah.
What could he have done for them? What would have been the thing to do? They could have gone out on a date and he could have popped in every now and then to give them advice.
Right.
He could have, like, no.
Yeah.
I don't know. They don't look like they're having a good time.
Mm-mm. Sure.
So, and I'm sure that meeting her new sister is going to make Sarah ever so much pleasant and low stress and happy. That'll go great.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah, well, not a happy episode. It was difficult.
Yes.
But
at least there were pancakes.
There were pancakes. I thought she was going to burn it because that's what she does, right?
Yeah.
And then it would be another mark for her.
She tried to get out of it for that reason.
Yeah. He is a self-confident dude, that McAllister. He's just going to do what he wants to do, and America just better like it.
Yep.
And, I mean, that's, I guess, healthy. I don't know that it's that wise politically, but they're going to like me because
they're going to like you because they like me?
Yes, they're going to like me because look at me. Honestly, I look like Rob Lowe. So...
That's what we need in a senator.
I think so. And, well, a president.
Yes.
That's why he's going for president.
Yes.
Absolutely. You know? That's worked out well in the past. So, anyway.
So, there you have it.
And
brothers and sisters. Brothers and sisters. So, next week, we get the other Walker. So... that I think we can guess what's going on there. And Shrinking, the episode is called Woof. So that could mean a lot of things.
I can't say the name of their little dog on this podcast, but is that the one woofing?
I don't know. I think it's another one of those terms that the kids use.
Is it? Okay, well, see, I don't have kids that age. So maybe they're hearing it on the YouTubes, but they're not telling me.
Yeah. So we will watch that.
So we are now back to, we're going to watch one episode at a time. We're going to watch the actual episode from that week. We had a little catch up to do, but now we're going to be right on time.
Yeah, because they come out on Fridays and we come to you on Tuesdays.
Yeah, so we'll be right on time in that we will be talking about the most recently released one. However, we will be doing that like 5 days later.
Right.
So,
but before the next one.
Sit and think about it. Let it marinate. Watch it a few times before you hear us talk about it. It'll be fine.
Yeah. We are here for you.
Just when everybody else has stopped talking about it, we're charging.
And that's going to be it for our round 2 today. Please subscribe to our Parenting Roundabout podcast so you won't miss any of our episodes. We have something new for you every weekday. As always, you can find recaps, links, and an opportunity to comment on our website at parentingroundabout.com. Bye, Terry.
Bye, Catherine.
Goodbye, everyone.